What's going on, guys? Architect with an episode of What Went Wrong. On this episode, we asked the question, what went wrong with Tom Clancy's The Division? Much like the previous games we've talked about thus far, The Division is a game that isn't necessarily a bad game, but it's a hyped up game that fell on its face, a hyped up game that wasn't as good as we thought it would be. It's a game filled with issues from poor weapon tuning, like lack of content, empty story, and dull gameplay, repetitive grinding, and a multiplayer that doesn't know if it wants to allow players to kill each other or don't allow players to kill each other. So we'll take it from that. The multiplayer, the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone was supposed to be the place to get the best loot, the place to face the toughest enemies in the game, all at the high risk that another player can just come in, kill you for your rewards. High risk, high reward. On the flip side, other players also face a high risk, high reward situation. They can ignore killing the tough enemies and just kill you and take your rewards for themselves. But the risk there is that they become rogue, and with that, everybody in the Dark Zone will be notified of that player's position or those players' positions, and that they're rogue, and those players will be manhunted down until they are dead. If killed, they lose the gear they stole. They also lose a lot of XP. Now, if they get away with it, though, they get to keep the gear. They also get a lot of XP. So again, high risk, high reward. Now, that sounds like the same thing that Ubisoft intended, but the thing is, the human element is a hell of a thing. Most players, they don't want to be rogue, and most players don't want to be put into like a grinding for gear situation. You know, just to have all that gear get stolen from them by another player. So this creates an issue with the Dark Zone. People stop going there because, you know, they want the gear, but they don't want the risk. You know, they want to be able to kill other players, but they don't want the risk of being rogue. The last time I went to the Dark Zone, it was empty. You know, you'll see like one other player every few minutes or so, but that's it. You know, and and you do see other players. You know, they're very hesitant. Like they'll stand still, just see what you're gonna do. They don't know if you are the kind of person who's just gonna like gun them down for their shit. When you go to an extraction and you see one other person there, you know, they're scared like a motherfucker. And like they don't know if you're trying to sabotage them or not, because, you know, the community just has no idea who they can trust and who they can't trust. The Dark Zone right now it has an identity crisis because of the community. The community doesn't know what it wants to do. It doesn't know if they want to. You know, you'll see videos where community will basically complain about the rogue system or complain about something else in Dark Zone. And they will still complain because, you know, people want to go rogue, but they don't want to have to face the risk. And people don't want to go rogue because they don't want to face the risk. So there's a whole lot of things going on with the Dark Zone that just makes it, you know, not enjoyable. And for either side, for those who want to be the bad guys and for those who want to just be, you know, good guys killing the freaking NPCs and getting gear. Then there's the story. The game story is dull and empty, like most MMOs themed games. The difference with the Division story is that the story had a lot of potential. The ideas was great. It was just poorly executed. The story had the same flaws as Destiny stories, as in most of its actual story of the game has to be read in files or listened to in like echoes. But Destiny, those are called the grimoires. If you just, you know, pick up the files and echoes, then you miss out on the majority of the story. Just as if you don't read the grimoire cards in Destiny, you miss out on the story. And of course, and once you finish the story, there's nothing left to do but, you know, redo the story missions. You know, the DLC dropped, but once you did those, the only thing left to do was repeat those missions and redo the DLC. So this is where the repetition comes in, where you're just doing the same thing over and over again, grinding over and over again, kind of like Destiny, but there is no like immediate success. Now, we don't mind doing the same thing over and over again if the story is interesting or engaging, but it's empty, it's dull. We get bored. And that there is what went wrong with the Division. It's boring. It's not a bad game. It's not a good game. It could be a great with you know, future titles if they don't, you know, make the same mistakes. But this game, as it stands right now, is just a boring game. Hopefully the next game for this franchise will have like better customization options. You know, let us fully customize our characters, similar to like Elder Scrolls or Mass Effect. Have cinematic cutscenes in a story. Have a lot of end-game content that keeps us playing and not mind grinding. That grinding needs to actually lead to getting good gear all the time, not, you know, grinding and getting something useless that you're just going to freaking dismantle. And not spending 40 hours to get a chest piece that's 2 points higher than base gear. You know, you want to get armor that's at least, you know, that's like 10 points higher in terms of like, you know, just get a random number, 10 points higher than your actual gear. Now, a lot can be done with this franchise, and it's a game that has a lot of potential. And as a fanboy of all things Tom Clancy, I really want this game to be a success. And for the most part, it kind of already is a success, but that's monetarily. But it's not a success in terms of, its perception and how gamers see it and how, we ourselves, see it. We see it as a game that, it kind of just fell flat on its place. And it had all these promises, but it didn't execute on anything. But that's it for this video, guys, of what went wrong. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you all for watching. Peace out.